Seems like there are times in our lives when things are just a little unsettled for whatever reason, whether it's a time of transition or a moment of difficulty in life. We can kind of lose our grip on that sense of peace and tranquility and stability. Of course, these days with violent protests and political upheaval, it would be easy to get lost or kind of feel powerless over what's happening around us. And we might begin to wonder, what do I have to do to regain that sense of peace? What can I do in our community and in our parish to help people feel that sense of stability? What can I do to be a positive presence to the people around me? I was wondering those questions this week when I came across the words of the prophet Isaiah, which we hear in our first reading today. Share your bread with the hungry. Shelter the oppressed and the homeless. Clothe the naked when you see them, and do not turn your back on your own. Then your light shall break forth like the dawn, and your wound shall quickly be healed. While Isaiah wrote these words about 3,000 years ago, he could have very easily said them on the nightly news last night, and they would be just as relevant to us today. Take care of the people around you. You know, if your life is unsettled, if you're struggling in your prayer life, if you're disturbed by political division, if you're fearful of the violence that you see on TV and in the streets around you, if you've just lost someone that you love, then, says the prophet, feed and shelter and clothe and embrace your brothers and sisters. This is the remedy for this unsettledness. This is what helps us to rediscover the foundation of our humanity. It sets us back on a solid footing so that we can feel that sense of peace and that sense of hope. I'll be honest, this is why I want to go back to Haiti this summer with some of our parishioners. Because there's something about being with people in their need that reminds us that we're all together in this. That we're not against each other, but that there is a common humanity and a common need that binds us together as brothers and sisters. Unfortunately, we often skip this part. We skip this sense of sharing our need with our brothers and sisters. We think that we can somehow solve poverty without looking people in the eyes, but we can't. We think that we can ensure peace without having difficult conversations with people who see things differently than us. But we can't. Policies don't make people perfect. Only God's mercy, only God's endless and boundless mercy can do that, can restore us to the dignity in the way that we were made. You know, we can sign petitions and we can peacefully protest and we can let our voices be heard, which we should. But if those actions don't come from a heart that is steeped in love for our brothers and sisters, then they are absolutely useless. Because nothing will change. If our hearts aren't changed, if they're not converted back to the Lord, then it doesn't matter what we do. It won't last. Because lasting peace and lasting stability comes from people who have been changed from within. You know, it's interesting to me that Jesus in our gospel doesn't say, you make the salt of the earth. He doesn't say, you create the light of the world. He doesn't put that pressure on us. He says, you are the light of the world. You are the salt of the earth. You already have within you what is needed to bring seasoning to life, to make life better. You already have within you the light that you need to help people who are in darkness. It's not something you have to go searching for. You don't have to crawl around through the bushes. You don't have to dig through your cupboards. You don't have to reach into the back of the refrigerator where God only knows what's there. You don't have to go in search of these things. You have within you what you need to be a strong and beautiful presence in this world. And we shouldn't doubt that. We shouldn't doubt the goodness that is in us, that is for the sake of our brothers and sisters. You know, St. Paul, who we could consider the greatest Christian convert in Christian history, he says very clearly in his writing to the Corinthians, I come to you in weakness and fear and much trembling. He says, I come, with a word that maybe isn't even that persuasive, with not much wisdom. He's not flattering himself here. Even St. Paul recognizes that he is somehow weak in what he has to offer, and yet he says, but I'm moved by the Spirit to say what I'm called to say, to offer what I have been given. And maybe we, in the face of all the struggles that we face around us, all the difficulties that our society brings with us, maybe we would say with him, I come with weakness and fear and much trembling, because it doesn't seem like I have much to offer. But we do. We do have much to offer. And we need to offer it for the sake of our brothers and sisters in a very simple way. What we're asked to do is not complicated. Just love the people around you. Care for the people around you. I haven't consulted them on this, so maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but, if you want to go on a ride-along with a St. Vincent de Paul Society, then you should, because the work that they do is tremendous. Or if you want to go with the Legion of Mary, when they deliver communion to those who are sick and homebound, then, Diana's going to kill me in the office, but call the office. We'll find out a way to make this happen. Because we have some wonderful ministries in our parish that are not first about taking care of the physical and material needs of people. They are first about being with people in their need, in their humanity. Because if we're not with people in our humanity, we can't be with people in our Christianity. Humanity comes first. There is a common life, a common need that we share with our brothers and sisters, and we can't skip that. So I would encourage you to stay off Facebook and the rants of political upheavals for an hour and spend that time doing something that's useful, sitting with people. Or skip the show that you watch in primetime television that's full of violence and hatred and anger, and be with someone in their need. Just sit with someone. I hope this isn't a tall order for us. Just be with someone. Be with a family member. Sit down with your family. Turn off the TV, turn off the radio, put down the cell phones. Have dinner with your family for an hour. Nobody gets up for an hour. Talk for an hour. Ooh. And then come to confession, and then we can work through it. But really, friends, certainly we can do this. Certainly we can start here. Just on the level of humanity. Just to be with each other and to listen to each other. Maybe if we can do this, maybe if we can just take small step in our expressions of love for our brothers and sisters, then maybe that great prophecy of Isaiah might be fulfilled in our day. Then your light shall break forth like the dawn, and your wound shall quickly be healed.